Hi everybody, and welcome back to Brickanics and week 5 of building an Imperial bunker on Endor. My name is Andy and this is Mason, and today we're going to walk you through a lot of cool additions we've made to this MOC. If you saw the last episode, we finished most of the exterior and we walked you through the interior. I'll put a link to that video right here because we're actually not going to be viewing the inside of the bunker. Today we're going to be focused on the outside. We've actually added a whole additional 48 by 48 base plate, and we've started working on the exterior Endor landscape, which includes an elevated section, a little bit of rock work, and several redwood trees. So let's go ahead, jump right in, and start showing you some of the things we've added to this bunker. Oh yeah, and we do have one addition to the rooftop of the bunker that we'll show you as well. All right, let's jump in. All right, so here is that additional 48 by 48 base plate we've added to the front with a bunch of reddish brown plates. We will be adding a bunch of foliage on the top of this. It'll pretty much be covered in foliage, but I wanted the mud kind of base of Endor, the dirt of Endor, to kind of be able to show through the grass, and that's why we've gone with the reddish brown base plates, and we're gonna be using like 1x1 round green plates to kind of add the grass features with a bunch of additional plants and foliage and different kind of things as well. So let me start walking you through some of the features that we've added here. All right, the first one here is this massive redwood tree. And if I put my hand here just to give you an idea of the size, that's the size of it. We actually got inspiration from the Lego Ideas treehouse, and that's exactly how we got the start on building this redwood tree. Although I will say that once I kind of got the concept from the Lego Ideas treehouse, it was really a challenge from there because the treehouse only actually gets you up about this high, and then I've added a second layer and then a third layer on top. And to get the second layer to line up with the first layer is very difficult because the way that the plates and the different types of bricks that are used, the snot bricks that are used on this line up, it was leaving a gap between, you know, the layers or the stories of this tree, I guess you'd say. And getting those to line up was a challenge, and it took a lot of finagling to get it to work. But ultimately, we were able to get it to line up, and the finished product, I mean, it's amazing. And one of the best things about it are how the roots look when it's all together. And, you know, we've added some additional, you know, darker brown plates in here just to give it a different color. And then we've added some, I believe this is called sand green on the back here, just to represent some moss, you know, growing up the tree. So I think that the Lego Ideas treehouse was a great way to get the start on this, and then you got to kind of feel your way through to kind of get it built up all the way to the end. The second tree is this one here, which I used a different technique. I used a different snot technique. You'll see the circumference is quite a bit smaller than the other tree. I wanted to have, you know, some variation between the sizes of the trees that were on the MOC. And the technique that's used here is just a pretty simple snot technique, and then to kind of get your roundedness of the tree, so to speak, you just kind of plate out like that. So that worked well, and I was still able to get some good details around here with the roots. Really like the way they kind of blend in to the floor of Endor here on the MOC. Once we actually get some grass built up around the bottoms of these tree trunks and we get some of the foliage built up, that's going to help these blend in a lot better. Because of the nature of the snot technique here, you end up getting a little bit of a space on the bottom here. So what I did is I just took a 1x1 snot brick, turned it upside down. attached a plate to the bottom of it, and that kind of helped bring it down to the floor a little bit. And then once we go ahead and add grass here, it's going to look totally fine and totally blend in, no problem. And we did the same thing over here as well. The third tree here is a lot more simple. As you'll see, it's a lot more thin. I wanted to have a tree kind of up on this elevation. I thought that would add a cool little look to the MOC, something unique and different on it, which would be pretty cool. Again, the roots were all snot technique kind of built in here, which is pretty simple. And as you can imagine, if I can pull this off without breaking anything, this is just another snot technique under here, and then you just kind of plate out on top to get your rounded edges. This tree is a little bit more square than the other ones, I would say, but I'm okay with it because once we get branches on these, it's going to look great, and those will be added on the next update. All right, let's talk about this hill and how we went about getting this slope here. I wanted to have grass kind of running down the front of the hill. So I don't know if this is the right technique or if it's going to end up being like a technique I use in the future, but it's one that I chose to try for this MOC. And, you know, so far I think it's turned out, you know, pretty good. Basically what it is, if we move these out of the way, it's these hinge pieces, and then you just take a plate and attach it to the hinge pieces like that, and then that just attaches on there, and then you can angle it down like that right there. And then, you know, to cover up the actual hinges, you can just place 1 by 1 plates right into it, and it covers it up pretty well. And once we build the grass up and the foliage up on here, that's going to help blend this gap here and that you see on the other side as well, and also the little bit of a gap that you see at the bottom. That'll all be covered up by grass and plants, so you won't even notice it once it's built. All right, let's take a look at the rock work. You know, I wanted the hill to kind of wrap around in a bit of an L shape, and then to turn that inside corner, I wanted to use rock work to turn that inside corner, because honestly that was the easiest for me to do, and I've never built rock work before, so I wanted to try it. That's why I pretty much wanted to add it to this MOC. And we're going to add a couple little pieces, you know, out here to kind of make it seem like it's just not a clump right here, but it's part of the landscape as well. So I think the rock work, you know, turned out, you know, pretty good. We wanted to add a little bit of mud onto it because we wanted the rock to kind of really feel like it was embedded in within this hill. And then the other thing that I wanted to make sure that we did was to elevate it up on top of the hill so that it came around on the top of the hill like this, which I thought was pretty cool. All right, something else you might have noticed up here was the speeder bike. And, you know, right now it blends in with the reddish brown base of the MOC, but once the grass is on here, this will pop out a lot better. But this is a custom design that you know, I came up with here. I wanted it to be as sleek as possible. You know, I wanted it to be thin, and I wanted it to have some of the cool elements like these bars right here. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not always a fan of these road sign pieces as the kind of front part, but you know, I wanted to do something different than those. But at the end of the day, they look the best, and I'm actually fine with it. I think they look good. There's the bottom guns of the speeder bike right there. So some pretty good detail. This piece here allows you to get a nice forward lean of the minifigure. which is really cool and I thought was super important. So I'll be sharing a future tutorial of how to build this one if you like this one. Let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to see a tutorial of this being built. I'm gonna make one, but I definitely would like to hear if it's something you're interested in. This is gonna be one of two of these we're gonna incorporate into the MOC. Something else I wanted to get your opinion on was the moss and what you thought of that and how that looks. I was only gonna do it on one tree. I only did it on one side of the tree because that's kind of how moss grows, you know, where it gets the least amount of sunlight. So we have it on the back side of the MOC here. And then I just decided, you know, because I thought it looked cool, that I would add a little bit on this one and then a very little bit on this one. So I really would like your opinion on what do you think of the moss on the trees and if it adds a nice little element to it as well. Look at that kind of trajectory or that perspective, that point of view right there. I really like how that kind of looks heading into the bunker. That's just really so cool. And that's gonna make for some really good pictures, I think. All right, last thing to show you here is on the top of the bunker. We've added a couple elements. If you saw before, there's a lot of studs on the top of here, which I'm okay with, right? I'm okay with the studs. This is built out of Lego and I want it to look like it's built out of Lego, but certainly too many studs can be unsightly as well. So you want to mix in some different elements to kind of break it up and provide kind of a smooth contrast kind of look. In my own opinion, that's what I think of it at least. But we added this element here, which is just an access point to get into the bunker. So it opens up like that. We've kind of tiled it off here black because it actually doesn't go down into the bunker. It's just kind of a fake access point. But yeah, that's what we wanted to do there. So that works like that. All right, the last thing I'll show you on the top of this bunker that we added were these pipes right here, just to add another element of detail to the top of the bunker. You know, before when we first made it, it was a bit plain looking. We added the radars, we've added this air intake, we've added the access point, and then we've added just some piping here to the top. Now, as far as the design of the bunker, the exterior is complete. That's exactly how it's going to look. Outside of the fact that when we go to add foliage across this whole thing, we are gonna add some mud and some foliage and plants on top of this bunker so it blends in, you know, with the rest of the MOC and it all looks like it's within a jungle and it's not just, you know, jungle or forest here and just clean brand new bunker here. We're gonna dirty this up a little bit to blend it in. All right, so maybe this is your first time seeing this MOC. First, you know, I'd like to welcome you to the channel. Thanks for coming and watching the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, it would be awesome if you did subscribe. But I did want to show you how you can go inside the bunker because I think that's really cool to see. So this entire roof here lifts off. And there's a complete interior as well. So like I said, I put a link to it before, but I'll also put a link down in the description below to where you can go ahead and I do a walkthrough of the interior and you can see what all the rooms are about inside. All right, so that's the progress that we've made so far. We've got both 48 by 48 base plates attached. We've got the exterior started. We've got the trees started. We're going to add branches and leaves to that this week. So that's primarily what we'll be doing this week is finishing up the foliage on this bunker, and I think that we're actually done. So the next video will actually be the finale. I'm not sure if it'll be out next week or the week after, only because I'm not sure if I have enough of the leaves for the trees. That's yet to be determined as I kind of start building it out there. So if you're not subscribed, you want to see that update, please subscribe and you'll get, you'll see it in your feed, or turn on notifications if you want to see the update or the finale when we're done. I've put a description, or I put a link in the description below to the playlist where we kind of walk you through all 5 episodes of building out this bunker. Let us know what you think down in the comments, if you like anything or if you would change anything or what your opinion is. If you liked the video, hit the like button. And outside of that, just wanted to say thank you for watching. We appreciate you, and we will...
I like the base.
I think you said that the exact same thing last time, right?
Yeah, and like the pier bike.
Yeah. Look, Mason's been playing with this a lot. I've been trying to build in as much playability into the bunker as well, from the radars being able to turn, from the hatch being able to open, from the roof being able to come off and having rooms that you can play with minifigures inside, to an exterior landscape. There's a lot of playability here, and Mason has been playing with this a lot. It stays on our kitchen table, and he just plays with it all the time.
Yeah, at least a lot of times, but now I play it with Dad.
Yeah, I play too, to be honest with you. We have battles like where, you know, I'll be like the rebels attacking the bunker and Mason's defending it. Only it's a little bit unfair because he has Darth Vader as part of the defense. So there's that. But and
I put stakes in here, like Lego stakes in here, that when you open it, there's stakes right there.
Yeah, we do have minifigures, or not minifigures, but we do have small snakes that we're going to add to the bunker, just to add that extra element of detail.
Yeah, and we're going to see you on the next video.
Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.
Bye. See you next time.